What's up guys? Today I'm going to be talking about twin flames because I've been saying that I'd be making this video for a few months now and you guys were actually really interested in seeing this. So today I'm going to be talking about twin flames. That bug bite is still there, so I think I'm dying. I think I have like malaria or whatever those people had like back in I don't know when, because I am currently failing history class. To start out, a twin flame is a type of soulmate connection. I believe it's one of the most intense soulmate connections you could have. A regular soulmate, which maybe I can make another video about just like regular soulmates if you would like me to. But basically a regular soulmate, you could have multiple. They could be platonic, they could be romantic. You only have one twin flame. It's not possible to have multiple. A twin flame is a soul that was connected to yours before you entered the physical realm. So basically, in the spiritual world, your soul was once one and then it split into two, and it went into two different physical bodies. There's typically a masculine and a feminine energy. So I've seen a lot of people say that twin flames are very different than you, which I believe is a myth. Of course, you know, nobody's exactly the same in the world, but I've realized that twin flames often have a lot of similarities, whether it's within their personality, their interests, their background, things of that nature. Sometimes they'll even look alike, and that's something that I don't hear people say too often, but I have seen multiple twin flames that resemble each other, and it won't even be like a certain feature of theirs that look exact. It's like an energy. Like you could just look at a pair of twin flames and know that they're on the same energy frequency as one another. So twin flame is a mirror of yourself. You'll see a lot of yourself in this person, and it can be pretty scary, especially whenever they have negative traits, as everyone does. Nobody's flawless. Because a lot of times you'll share negative traits and you might not even realize that you have these negative traits until you see your twin flame handle these traits, and then you're like, oh shit, I have the same trait. And it's honestly really weird because like I've realized things about myself that I didn't necessarily think of myself before, and I mean it's definitely crazy. So since twin flames are on the same energy frequency, you guys can pick up on each other's energies a lot easier, and this can also create telepathic moments where basically sometimes maybe you'll be thinking about texting your twin flame and then they text you like as soon as you think that, or you'll both go to text each other at the same time, or you'll both show up wearing similar outfits or the same thing. This has happened to me. We used to always joke all the time. I was like, oh my god, like I think we're telepathic, it's so weird, like we're always texting each other at the same exact time, like how do we keep doing that? And I didn't know what a twin flame even was at the time, and then I found out what a twin flame was, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense, and I was like so confused. In my opinion, a twin flame connection is like such a beautiful connection. It's like surreal, like it's really crazy and intense, but I think it's also a very painful connection, which it varies, you know. It might not be as bad for someone else as it is for the other, but there's a lot of pain that goes along with twin flames. Twin flames can be very hurtful at times. They might not mean to be hurtful, but considering you're a mirror image of one another, it's very easy to get hurt by them. So twin flames can often go through a rough patch where things are really bad, and that's completely normal because with twin flames, there's a lot of inner purging that goes on with finding yourself, becoming a better person, evolving spiritually, you know, mentally. Just there's a lot of factors, and the twin flame is supposed to bring that out in you, and it might bring out the worst in you and it might bring out the best in you, but you know, you can't really have one without the other. So whenever you think about it like that, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to share some signs with you that you might be dealing with a twin flame energy that I have personally experienced and the experiences of others. So prior to meeting them, you might begin to be interested in something that you weren't interested in before, or something that maybe you quit being interested in for a period of time, but you're starting up that interest again. And some of these signs might not apply to you, some of them might apply to you. So if you don't have every sign, don't worry, this person still might be your twin flame. But these are just signs that I've experienced and signs that I've seen others experience. There will also be a lot of synchronicities on the clock, or just repeating numbers that you see. For example, certain dates, times on the clock, certain numbers you just might see somewhere. And for example, I see 1111 a lot, and I see 222 a lot, and I see 111 a lot. And sometimes I would see 1111 like years ago, but like not every day. I see 1111 every single day of my life, and it's really weird to me. Okay, so this is a sign that I don't see people talking about a lot, but it's something that I've experienced. So a lot of people might pick up on your energies, even if they don't know what twin flames are. They might pick up on your energies and view you guys as a couple, even if you aren't, or they might just like pair you two together in a weird way. For example, I've had people message me and be like, oh, you and so, like this reminded me of both of you. Whenever you first meet this person, it's going to feel like home, and I know that sounds so cliche, but you're going to feel like you've known this person your whole entire life. Like for example, I never really like talk to people on the phone that I'm not familiar with, and I don't know, I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know, I like to get to know people and everything, but I'm also kind of like closed off. Like it takes me a little while to warm up to people. But whenever I started talking to this person, I just wanted to talk to them all the time. Like I remember one time I woke up at like 10 a.m. and like called them, like actually they called me like right away, and I was so excited to talk to them. Like I don't like to talk to people as soon as I wake up, especially if I only sleep for a few hours. Like I was so happy to talk to this person for some reason, and it wasn't awkward. Like our conversations were never awkward or forced. Like it just felt so right and comfortable all the time. I'm not gonna get too detailed about how I met my twin flame, but basically I was very urged to talk to them, and I don't really message too many people on social media first. I don't know, like I'm like bad at making friends for some reason. Like I'm an outgoing person, but like I don't know, for some reason, whenever I try to message someone, I feel like a bother and like weird, and like what if they're weirded out that I want to be friends with them? But I just felt so urged to talk to this person, and like their Instagram account was like not like mysterious, but like they didn't really have any of their interests on there, so I didn't know if we were going to have anything in common, but I just felt like I needed to talk to them. So that's definitely a sign that someone is your twin flame. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, by the way. I'm so tired. I feel like my voice sounds different too because I'm so tired. So things start to happen for you guys really quickly. It might be like a love at first sight thing, which I never thought love at first sight was a real thing. But yeah, so you might like really like them right away. You might fall in love in like 3 days, a week, a month. I mean, it varies from person to person, but typically with twin flames, things start to move really quickly, and it's like a fairy tale, and everything's so happy, and you're like, oh my god, like, this is crazy, like, this is all I've ever wanted, this is my dream person, like, how can everything be so good? And then it slowly starts to crumble. You start to realize things about this other person, they realize things about you. Maybe someone gets too scared of the connection and they start to run away, or I don't know, they just distance themselves a little. It gets challenging, and you might start to argue a little bit more. You might realize things about this person that you don't really like. They'll start to show their true colors, and sometimes that's not always good. Sometimes you'll be really upset, and this is typically the period where you end up getting hurt by your twin flame if this occurs. There's also something that happens where separation occurs. This doesn't happen to every twin flame situation, but for a lot of twin flames this happens. Like more often than not this happens, whether they get into another relationship, whether they're scared of the connection that you guys share and just quit talking to you, whether they move away. sometimes there's a separation. But the good thing is that a lot of times during the separation, it actually helps. It might seem scary and hurtful, and you might feel like the world's ending, but the truth is that it's just preparing you for twin flame union, which twin flame union doesn't always happen. Sometimes people don't make it out of the whole separation period. The separation period is meant to cleanse your soul and their soul separately, and you need to work on yourselves if there are any issues. Like I said, sometimes you'll realize certain traits about yourself or them that you don't like. This is a period where you really work on yourself. Also, one twin flame might be more spiritual than the other, so this might be a period of time for one of the twin flames to become more spiritual and have a spiritual awakening or growth. This is really a self-development period, because sometimes with twin flames you get so caught up in them that you forget to care for yourself, and that's not healthy. So sometimes a break is needed. You might think like, oh my god, are they ever going to come back? But the truth is if they're meant to be in your life, they will come back into your life. It might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a year. You don't know, but the thing is that with the universe, there's a right time for everything. And you might be very impatient, and you might be like, no, the right time is now. I disagree, but everything happens for a reason. Maybe they're not ready, maybe you're not ready. Often, a lot of times, people will blame their one twin flame, like, oh, they keep running away, I have to chase them, oh, they're doing this, and it's bothering me, I'm so hurt. You mirror one another, so you're both clearly not ready. Even if you think that you're more than ready, you're more than likely not. Maybe you need to work on your career first. Maybe you need to love yourself first. Maybe you have bad habits that you need to get out of the way. There's always something that you need to work on with yourself, and twin flames need to do that in separate. Because with twin flames, they're typically very empathetic towards one another, and if one is doing bad, the other will start to do worse. And if the one is happy, then the other one will be happy. So sometimes you need to separate to regain your own emotions back, because it can be a very stressful situation if the other twin is going through something. Also, another sign that this person is your twin flame is that you'll probably meet in a very memorable way, or like a really weird way. A lot of people describe it as something out of a movie. So like, I don't know, whenever I think of that, I think of someone like dropping a book at a library and like their twin flame picking it up for them. I don't know, that's so cliche, but that's how it happens. It's something weird. They might not live in the same state as you or country. You might meet them on the internet somewhere just by chance. Your twin flame more than likely isn't going to live right next door to you. They aren't going to be your neighbor. They aren't going to come into your work. I mean, they could, but for the most part, there's so many people in this world that finding your twin flame right down the street from you is not very likely. So a twin flame is not only a romantic thing. You're that person's best friend. Maybe you teach them things. It's not just solely focusing on romance. You guys are able to bond on so many different levels. You want to care for them. You want to be everything to this person. They want to be everything to you. It's not just a sole focus on, this is my boyfriend and, like, we're all romantic. Like, no, you guys are best friends. You joke about everything. There's so many different aspects. A twin flame is everything. It's not just, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. Like, you get the point. A lot of times twin flame connections happen in a bad place in your life, actually, or at the wrong time. Maybe they just got out of a really toxic relationship, or maybe you got out of a toxic relationship, or maybe you aren't ready for a relationship, or maybe they're still maturing depending on their age and everything. There's a lot of conflict that comes along with twin flames, and it's solely just a test to see how determined you are and how patient you are, and that's really what it is. A twin flame really tests your patience and tests who you are as a person. Also, I forgot to mention, the separation period could happen multiple times. This person may come in and out of your life repeatedly. until you guys are fully ready to be in each other's lives permanently. I have one last thing to help you determine if this person is your twin flame or not. I actually just did this the other day and I got 2 signs and I was like shocked because I wasn't expecting to get like a response. I was watching a video about twin flames and it was titled, "How do you know if this person is your twin flame?" Basically, you could ask the universe for a sign, and I've actually never thought of that before. I don't know why. I just figured it wouldn't work or something. I don't know. It's just never crossed my mind to do that. You could either write it down and ask your question, or you could say it out loud. I said mine out loud. I said, like, is this person my twin flame? And I said, like, I'm struggling right now with, you know, current circumstances that I'm in, and I'm not really sure if they're my twin flame. I'm kind of doubting it. So once I wake up tomorrow, can you give me a sign that they're my twin flame? And I woke up and I had a sign, and then I asked again because I was like, okay, I just want to make sure that like this wasn't just a weird coincidence. And I asked again, and the next day whenever I woke up, I got another sign. So if this video didn't necessarily help you, you could try that because it worked for me. So if you're still struggling with figuring it out, literally ask the universe, and I'm 99% sure you will get a sign. If they are not your twin flame, you will not receive any kind of sign. Also, I think I got another sign today. It could just be a coincidence, but it was kind of weird, especially since that was the 3rd one. I think that's all for this video because my camera is dying and I'm getting really tired because, like I said, it's like 7 a.m. It's probably like 8 by now. But if you have any questions about twin flames, I will answer you in the comments or Snapchat or Instagram, wherever you want to ask me, and I will answer your questions. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!